Welcome to Exam में Dosti. In this class, we will discuss about Operation Polo, pros and cons of Operation Polo. This was very important because after getting independence to the whole country, the Hyderabad state did not got the independence, and for that Operation Polo was the major and most important event that happened to Hyderabad to get freedom to Hyderabad and to merge into the United India. So let's see. Introduction. Post independence, one of the first and major problems that surfaced was the integration of the princely states into the concept of a single unified, uniformly administered India. At that time, more than 500 princely states have covered 48% of the area of pre-independent India and constituted 28% of the population. The Indian Independence Act of 1947 gave princely states an option to accede to the newly born dominions India or Pakistan or continue as an independent sovereign state. Since these princely states were patronized by the British on a large scale during the 19th and 20th century, they were not comfortable with the idea of giving away their power and prestige. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, India's first Deputy Prime Minister and the Home Minister, with the assistance of V.P. Menon, the Secretary of the Ministry of the States, was given the formidable task of integrating the princely states. From invoking the patriotism of the princes to remind them of the possibility of anarchy or even of their refusal to join, Patel kept trying to convince them to join India. He also introduced the concept of privy purses, a payment to be made to royal families for their agreement to merge with India. Bikaner, Baroda and few other states from Rajasthan were the first ones to join the union. By the time the newly born dominions, India and Pakistan got their independence, almost all the princely states acceded with their either India or Pakistan except for three: Kashmir, Junagadh and Hyderabad. First we will see about the case of Kashmir. It was a princely state with a Hindu king ruling over a predominant Muslim population which had remained reluctant to join either of the two dominants. The case of this strategically located kingdom was not just very different but also one of the toughest as it had important international boundaries. The ruler of Kashmir, Maharaja Hari Singh, had offered a proposal of standstill agreement to both India and Pakistan, pending a final decision on the state's accession. Pakistan entered into the standstill agreement, but it invaded the Kashmir from north with an army of soldiers and tribesmen carrying weapons. In the early hours of 24th October 1947, thousands of tribal Pathans swept into Kashmir. The Maharaja of Kashmir and Jammu and Kashmir appealed to India for help. He sent his representative Sheikh Abdullah to Delhi to ask for India's help. On 26th October 1947, Maharaja Hari Singh filed from Srinagar and arrived in Jammu, where he signed an instrument of accession of Jammu and Kashmir state. According to the term of the document, the Indian jurisdiction would extend to external affairs, communications and defense. After the document was signed, Indian troops were airlifted into the state and fought alongside with the Kashmirs. On 5th March 1948, Maharaja Hari Singh announced the formation of an interim popular government with Sheikh Mahmud Abdullah as the Prime Minister. In 1951, the State Constituent Assembly was elected. It met for the first time in Srinagar on 31st October 1951. In 1952, the Delhi Agreement was signed between Prime Minister of India and Jammu and Kashmir, giving special position to the state under Indian constitutional framework. On 6th February 1954, the Jammu and Kashmir Constituent Assembly ratified the accession of the state to the Union of India. The President subsequently issued the Constitution order under Article 370 of the Constitution, extending the Union Constitution to the states with some exceptions and modifications. As per Section 3 of the Jammu and Kashmir Constitution, Jammu and Kashmir is and shall be an integral part of the Union of India. On 5th August 2019, the President of India promulgated the Constitution for application to Jammu and Kashmir Order 2019. The order effectively abrogates the special status accorded to Jammu and Kashmir under the provision of Article 370, whereby provisions of the Constitution which were applicable to other states were not applicable to Jammu and Kashmir. The case of Junagadh. The princely state situated on the southwestern end of Gujarat also did not accede to the Indian Union by August 15, 1947. It was the most important among the group of Kathiawar states and contained a large Hindu population ruled by the Nawab, Muhammad Mahmud Khanji III. On September 15, 1947, Nawab Mahmud Khanji chose to accede to Pakistan, ignoring Mountbatten's views, arguing that Junagadh adjoined Pakistan by sea. The rulers of two states that were subject to suzerainty of Junagadh, Mangrol and Babriwad, reacted by declaring their independence from Junagadh and acceding to India. In response, the Nawab of Junagadh militarily occupied the two states. Rulers of the other neighboring states reacted angrily, sending troops to the Junagadh frontier and appealed to the government of India for assistance. India believed that if Junagadh was permitted to accede to Pakistan, communal tension already simmering in Gujarat would worsen, and refused to accept the Nawab's choice of accession. The government pointed out that the state was 80% Hindu and called for a plebiscite to decide the question of accession. India cut off supplies of fuel and coal to Junagadh, severed air and postal links, sent troops to the frontier, and occupied the principalities of Mangrol and Babriwad that had acceded to India. Pakistan agreed to discuss a plebiscite subject to the withdrawal of Indian troops, a condition India rejected. On 26th October, the Nawab and his family fled to Pakistan. Following clashes with Indian troops, before leaving, the Nawab had emptied the state treasury of its cash and securities. On November 7, 1947, Junagadh's court, facing collapse, invited the government of India to take over the state's administration. The Diwan of Junagadh, Sir Shah Nawab Bhutto, the father of more famous Zulfikar Ali Bhutto, decided to invite the government of India to intervene. The government of India accepted the invitation of the Diwan to intervene. A plebiscite was conducted in February 1948, which went almost unanimously in favor of access to India. Junagadh became a part of the Indian state of Saurashtra until November 1, 1956, when Saurashtra became part of Bombay state. In 1960, Bombay state was split into the linguistic states of Maharashtra and Gujarat, in which Junagadh was located, and since then Junagadh is part of Gujarat. Finally, the case of Hyderabad. It was the largest and richest of all princely states, covered a large portion of Deccan Plateau. Nizam Mir Usman Ali was presiding over a largely Hindu population in the princely state. He was very clear on his demand for an independent state and blithely refused to join the Indian dominion. He drew support from Jinnah, and the tussle over Hyderabad grew stronger over time. The 7th Nizam announced his independence on 12th June 1947 and reiterated his decision again on 13th August 1947. Important events before Operation Polo. All India States People Conference. 1946. British government announced that independence will be granted to India. June 1946. After this declaration, a conference was held with the representatives of princely states under the chairmanship of Jawaharlal Nehru. Members of Hyderabad Congress, Swami Ramananda Tirtha and Burgula Ramakrishna Rao attended this conference. Members from Andhra Mahasabha, Ravi Narayana Reddy and Lakshmi Narasimha also attended this conference. They supported the idea of Hyderabad merging with the Indian Union. Jayaprakash Narayan's Hyderabad visit. On 7th May 1947, General Secretary of Socialist Party Jayaprakash Narayan visited Hyderabad. He addressed a public meeting at Karbala Garden. He expressed his demand of Hyderabad state to merge with Indian Union. Labour Party leaders like Narendra Prasad Saxena and Madhav Singh attended this meeting. Nizam police quickly distributed the meeting with brutal force of Rajakars. A committee under the leadership of Burgula Ramakrishna Rao formed by the Hyderabad State Congress to inquire into the incident and Rajakars' atrocities. Nizam's announcement of sovereign independence. On 12th June 1947, 7th and last Nizam Usman Ali Khan declared that the Hyderabad state will be sovereign independent. 13th August 1947, he expressed the same decision in a public meeting. A Muslim leader named Rahmat Ali Chowdhury welcomed the announcement and suggested a new name, Usmanistan, for the independent Hyderabad state. Even the communists who were busy with Telangana armed struggle supported Nizam's stand. The Dalit Education Minister in Nizam's government, B.S. Venkata Rao, and Deputy Prime Minister of Hyderabad, Pingali Rami Reddy, also supported this move by the Nizam. Anti-Nizam campaigns. Political organizations like Hyderabad State Congress stood against Nizam's decision and demanded indefinite merger with Indian Union. An anti-Nizam campaign named Join Indian Union Movement was launched by Hyderabad State Congress. Leaders like Swami Ramananda Tirtha, K.V. Narasimha Rao, V.B. Raju, Kodanti Narayana Rao called for non-cooperation movement against the Nizam. Join India was celebrated on 7th August 1947. Anti-Nizam leaders celebrated Independence Day on 15th August 1947. Indian flag was hosted in Sultan Bazar on 15th August 1947 by Motilal. The Nizam police have arrested leaders like Swami Ramananda Tirtha, G.S. Malkato and Keshava Rao, etc. The 2nd September 1947 was celebrated as Flag Hosting Day in Hyderabad state. Prominent leader of the Socialist Party, Jayaprakash Narayan, visited Hyderabad and demanded the merger of Nizam state with Indian Union. Various camps were erected to ruin Join India campaign in many parts of erstwhile Hyderabad state. Standstill Agreement. On 29th November 1947, standstill agreement between Indian government and Nizam happened. Standstill agreement talks between Nawab Chatari, Mehdil Yar Jung, Nizam PM, Walter Monckton, Nizam political and legal advisor, Nawab Alam Yar Jung, etc. Agreement signed by Mir Lak Ali, next PM of Hyderabad. According to this standstill agreement, K.M. Munshi was appointed as Indian government agent general in Hyderabad. Zain Yar Jung was appointed as the Hyderabad agent general in India, Delhi. Important points of standstill agreement. All the relations of the Nizam with British government before 15th August 1947 will be continued temporarily between the Nizam and Indian government without any change. Hyderabad state's defense, foreign affairs and communications will be under the control of the Indian government. Indian currency should be valid in Hyderabad state. Indian banking institutions can be established in Hyderabad state. Subjects of the Nizam should be given freedom of speech, expression and freedom of assembly. Release of Hyderabad State Congress leaders who were arrested by the Nizam. A democratic government should be established in Nizam state within 1 year with Nizam as only the nominal head of the state. Hyderabad should play a neutral role in case of war between India and Pakistan. Attack on Nizam Usman Ali Khan. 4th December 1947, a revolutionary named Narayan Rao Pawar of Arya Samaj Kranti Kar Diyal attacked Nizam Usman Ali Khan at King Koti, Hyderabad. But this attack was a failure. Conspirators behind this attack: Narayan Rao Pawar, Jagadishwar, Konda Lakshman Bapuji and Gandia were arrested. Narayan Rao Pawar is famously called as Telangana Bhagat Singh. Abolition of Council of Ministers. On 18th December 1947, Nizam Usman Ali Khan abolished the Council of Ministers and formed a new cabinet under the leadership of Prime Minister Lak Ali. Nizam included 4 Hindus in the cabinet to draw the support of his Hindu subjects. Pingali Venkata Rami Reddy, Deputy Prime Minister, B.S. Venkata Rao, Mallikarjuna Rao, J.V. Joshi were the Hindu cabinet members. Breach of standstill agreement. Nizam maintained close relationships with Pakistan despite giving up its foreign affairs to Indian Union. Nizam PM Ali Lak Ali's backdoor navigations with Pakistan's first PM Liaquat Ali, non-validity of Indian currency in Hyderabad, sending General E.I. Edors to Europe for purchasing modern weapons, illegal weapon trade from Goa port through an Australian weapon dealer named Sydney Cotton, tried to purchase Goa from the Portuguese. Nizam Gaut extended a loan of 20 crores to Pakistan amid India-Pakistan War 1947. Establishment of ordnance factories at Moti Mahal, Golconda and Chandargarh. The agent from Indian Union in Nizam's court, K.M. Munshi, was not given residence in Hyderabad. He was forced to stay an Indian Gaut building, Deccan House, Bollaram. Retaliation by Indian government. Indian government banned Deccan Airways owned by Hyderabad Nizam. Hyderabad was isolated from the rest of the world with Indian government's embargo on communication and telephone services. Exports of valuable goods like gold and diamond and other commercial products were banned. Despite the mediation efforts by Lord Mountbatten, the relations between Indian government and Nizams were worsened. Alan Campbell was sent to Hyderabad for talks with Nizam, but the talks proved to be a huge failure with Nizam rejecting the mediation. Role of Bhagyanagar radio station. Opposing the false propaganda against Indian God by Nizam's official radio station, Deccan Radio, Paga Pulla Reddy established Bhagyanagar radio station in 1948. Prominent socialist leader named Achyut Patwardhan supported Pulla Reddy in this initiative. Radio programs were broadcasted in Telugu, English and Urdu languages. The broadcaster in Telugu, Ramakrishna Sharma, broadcaster in Urdu, T. Nagampa. Bhagyanagar radio station conducted various programs to bring awareness among people about atrocities by Rajakars and Nizam police. Subsequently, Nizam banned the Bhagyanagar radio station. Murder of Shoaib Ullah Khan. This is the major event happened in this whole process. One of the potential reasons for military operation by Indian government was atrocities committed by Rajakars. During the period of 7th Nizam, they transformed into extra-constitutional forces and committed monstrous crimes against common people. All the descendants of Nizam and Rajakars were ruthlessly killed. Shoaib Ullah Khan, who was the editor of a famous newspaper, Imroj, was brutally murdered by Rajakars on 22nd August 1948 for writing articles against the atrocities of Rajakars. Role of lawyers. The lawyers of Hyderabad court stated accusations against Nizam rule and demanded to merge Hyderabad with Indian Union. February 1948, a lawyers' protest committee was formed under the leadership of Vinayaka Rao Vidyalankar. Later, lawyers' resistance committee न्यायवादुल्ला Pratighatana Samiti was formed under the presidentship of Ganapati Lal. This committee sent multiple letters to Nizam about their boycott of court duties. Nizam at United Nations. Nizam sought the help of British Prince George VI, Prime Minister Attlee and the Porters Harris S. Truman. US and UK followed the policy of non-interventions. 21st June 1948, resignation of Mountbatten. With no way forward, Nizam of Hyderabad approached the United Nations and complained against Indian government at UNSC. A delegation headed by the Nizam's Minister of Economy Foreign Affairs, Moin Nawaz Jung, arrived at New York on 10th September 1948. Indian UN delegation headed by Ramaswamy Mudaliar was also came up with their share of arguments. Nizam was supported by Pakistan's Foreign Affairs Minister Zafarullah Khan at UNSC. And finally, towards Operation Polo. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel described Hyderabad state as an ulcer in the heart of India which needed to be removed surgically. 11th September 1948, death of Muhammad Ali Jinnah. 13th September 1948, commencement of Operation Polo happened. Also called as Operation Caterpillar and Operation Goddard Plan. Plan prepared by Indian Army's Southern Commander-in-Chief Eric Norman Goddard. The name Operation Polo was suggested by then Governor General of India, Sri Rajagopalachari. The Indian government informed Pakistan High Commissioner and the American government that Operation Polo being conducted in the Hyderabad state to check the atrocities of Rajakars and to establish peace. The Indian government named this military operation as police action because of the UN norms. Polish action has taken place under the leadership of Indian Army Southern Commander Lieutenant General Maharaja Rajendra Sinha Jadeja. Rajendra Sinha Jadeja has divided the army into following foreign forces and units. Solapur unit J.N. Chowdhury, Vijayawada A.A. Rudra was leading, Berar Hospeta Shiva Dutt Singh was leading, Bombay D.S. Dar was leading. Pune Air Base under the command of General Mukherjee was used to attack with aircrafts. 13th September 1948, military attacks from all corners of Hyderabad state. A military unit under the leadership of J.N. Chowdhury annexed Naldurg city of Maharashtra on 13th September 1948. Indian armed forces entered Hyderabad on 17th September 1948. Hyderabad Commander-in-Chief E.I. Indores surrendered along with his troops. 17th September 1948, Nizam Usman Ali Khan met K.M. Munshi in the Lake View Guest House, Hyderabad and declared the union of Hyderabad state with Indian Union. 17th September 1948, 7 p.m., Nizam made an announcement in the Deccan Radio on the name of then Indian Governor General Rajagopalachari that Hyderabad is now a part of Indian Union. The military action, police action ended with Nizam's radio announcement. 17th September 1948, end of Nizam rule and Hyderabad state merged with Indian Union. Remember this date, 17th September 1948. J.N. Chowdhury appointed as Hyderabad military general. 18th September 1948, the leader of Rajakars, Qasim Rajvi, was arrested and imprisoned in the military camp at Tirumalagiri. Nizam Prime Minister Lak Ali was arrested. 18th September 1948, Nizam Usman Ali Khan welcomed Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel at Begumpet Airport. 22nd September 1948, Nizam has withdrawn the complaint filed against Indian government at UNSC. In Karnataka, 17th September 1948 celebrated as Hyderabad Karnataka Liberation Day. In Maharashtra, this day celebrated as Marathwada Sangram Mukti Divas.